Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting immigration updates for 2026, New Zealand's Green List pathway to residence. If your profession is in demand, this might just be a golden ticket for you to live and work permanently in New Zealand. This pathway is for Tier 1 and Tier 2 occupations, which either allow you to apply directly for residence status or apply for residence status after working for a while in New Zealand. What's more is that you can even include your spouse or partner and dependent children up to 24 years of age in your visa, and they too can get their residence status. In this video, we'll cover what is the Green List pathway, the difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2 roles, sample jobs under each tier and typical salary expectations, what qualifications, registration or experience you'll need, how to find and apply for Green List jobs from abroad, the benefits and tips for this pathway, and the step-by-step application process as well. By the end, you'll know whether your job could qualify and how to take action. Let's get started. Hey guys, it's Jason from Dream Canada. If you're new to the channel, I show people how to save their money and immigrate to new countries through my videos without the help of any immigration consultants or agents or lawyers. You can find all the process instructions for you to apply on your own through this channel. Subscribe now because all the information provided here is completely free, and answer all your queries in the comment section and on my social handles on Instagram and Twitter, so don't forget to follow us there as well. You can even get in touch with us directly via WhatsApp on the number shared on the screen. Now, what is the Green List pathway? The Green List is a curated list of occupations that New Zealand considers high need or in shortage. If your job is on the Green List and you meet the requirements, you can apply for residence either straight away if you're working in a Tier 1 occupation, or after working for 24 months if you're working in a Tier 2 occupation with the work to residence pathway. This pathway is designed to streamline and simplify residence for those with in-demand skills. It's not every occupation, only those on the list. So the first step for any applicant is to go on the official Green List and check whether your role is Tier 1 or Tier 2 and see what requirements are listed. You can check this list and the requirements on the official New Zealand immigration website. Tier 1 roles allow you to apply immediately or soon enough for residence once you have a job offer from an accredited employer. Tier 2 roles require you to work in New Zealand in that role for 24 months, meeting minimum wage criteria before applying for residence. Coming to the benefits, the first thing is that it's a faster and clearer pathway to residence. Tier 1 gives direct residence status and Tier 2 gives residence after working for 2 years with fewer visa uncertainties. There's also streamlined employer requirements. Green List roles often have lesser burden on employers, for example, less rigorous proof of advertising. There's also security for your family. You can include your spouse or partner and dependent children up to 24 years in this visa. You'll get the ability to live, work and study indefinitely for straight to residence pathways. There's also high demand roles. If you're working in occupations which New Zealand specifically wants to attract, you'll get better job security and salary bargaining power as well. There's also lower risk than uncertain or non-residence paths. Because this is a government-backed route, there's less reliance on changing visa rules midway. Now, Tier 1 versus Tier 2. What's the difference and which jobs fall under each one? Coming to Tier 1, which is the straight to residence pathway, your occupation must appear in Tier 1 on the Green List I mentioned above. You must have a job offer or already working with an accredited employer. The job must meet minimum pay or wage threshold, either occupation specific or at least median wage. I'll tell you about the median wage and the minimum salary you'll receive ahead. You must satisfy any qualification, registration or experience requirements listed for that occupation. Age, health, character and English requirements also may apply. Once those are met, you can apply for the straight to residence visa. Now for Tier 2, which is your work to residence pathway, your role must appear in Tier 2 on the Green List. You still need a job offer or employment contract with an accredited employer. You must work in that role for 24 months in New Zealand on an acceptable work visa, meeting pay or wage criteria during that period. Then after 24 months, you can apply for the work to residence visa, given that you satisfy other criteria like wage, qualifications, registrations, etc. Now for a few examples for Tier 1 jobs, which is straight to residence. Highly specialized medical or health roles like specialist physicians, surgeons, engineering professionals with high demand like telecommunications engineers, network engineers, etc. and ICT roles with defined thresholds like ICT security specialists. Now for Tier 2 examples, which is for work to residence pathway, some ICT or software roles that have salary thresholds but not in the highest bracket, clinical psychologists and lab scientists. Also a few trades occupations added as of August 2025 like metal fabricators, machinists, welders, panel beaters, vehicle painters, and paving plant operators, etc. Now for your wage and salary benchmarks. From August 18th, 2025, the median wage used in immigration settings in New Zealand is $33.56 per hour. For trades added to the green list, that's for metal fabricators, fitters, machinists, welder roles, etc., the wage threshold is 43.63 New Zealand dollars per hour, which works out to around 90,750 per year on 40 hours per week. For panel beaters, vehicle painters, paving plant operators, the wage threshold could be $38.59 per hour, with an average annual salary of around 80,000 New Zealand dollars. Now, where roles don't have a specified wage in the green list, you usually need to be paid at least the median wage, which is $33.56 per hour. Now, do note that if you earn 1.5 times or even twice the median wage for some visas, there are benefits like longer stay, exemptions from labor market tests, etc. Now, coming to what qualifications or registration and experience is required. Starting with the qualifications, many roles require a relevant degree, diploma, or certification recognized by New Zealand, or at least assessed by an international qualification assessment like IQA. The green list entries often specify the level on NZQF, which is the New Zealand Qualifications Framework. Some roles may require additional local credentials or bridging programs as well. Now for the registration, licensing, and professional membership that you may need, this is specifically for regulated professions like healthcare roles, engineering, and teaching. You may need to register with the corresponding New Zealand regulatory body, for example, Medical Council, Nursing Council, Engineering Registration, and Teaching Council. The green list entry for a job will state whether registration or membership is required for your role. Now we come to work experience. Some roles require years of relevant work experience, especially if your qualification is older or if you're seeking to meet the thresholds for contracting. For Tier 2 roles, your 24 months of work in New Zealand must be in a role that meets the criteria. That means same occupation and wage threshold. The work experience does not always have to be continuous for the Tier 2 pathway. You can add up multiple periods as long as the total of 24 months is satisfied. Now coming to a few other requirements, there's also an age limit. Applicants must be 55 years or younger when you apply. You'll also need to speak and understand English through test or evidence of study. There's also health and character requirements with standard medical examinations, chest x-rays, and PCCs. Now we come to how to find these greenlist jobs from abroad. Finding a greenlist job while abroad can be challenging, but here are proven strategies. The first way is to use New Zealand job portals and international portals. You can use New Zealand-based job sites like Seek, Trade Me Jobs, My Jobs NZ, and the LinkedIn New Zealand region filters. You can also use global job portals but filter in for New Zealand or remote to New Zealand relocation or visa sponsorship. Search for roles with keywords like greenlist, visa support, sponsorship, and accredited employer. Next, you can check accredited employers list. Only with such employers can certain greenlist roles be eligible. So find New Zealand companies that are accredited, then check their job listings. Accreditation gives them permission to sponsor employees from abroad. You can also use professional networks, conferences, and online communities, LinkedIn groups, and industry associations in New Zealand. Attend virtual or physical New Zealand job fairs targeting overseas talent. Reach out directly to HR or hiring managers and propose relocation and visa assistance. Kindly note, do not pay for any job offer. These are often scams, so be very careful with consultants and job agents. Now for the step-by-step application process. The first step is to confirm your occupation and tier. Go to the Immigration New Zealand Green List site to search for your job. Check whether it's Tier 1 or Tier 2 and see the listed requirements like wage, registration, and qualifications. Next, get a job offer from an accredited employer. Confirm that the employer is New Zealand accredited, that is, they must be eligible to employ foreign workers under relevant visa schemes. Your job offer must specify position, working hours, duration of contract, and your pay. Next, for Tier 1 roles, you can apply straight for residence. If your role is in Tier 1 and you meet all the criteria, you can submit a straight to residence visa application even from abroad. The visa allows you to live, work, and study indefinitely in New Zealand. The processing time for 80% of straight to residence applications are processed within 3 months. The cost is around 6,450 New Zealand dollars for the applicant and additional for your partner and your children. If it's a sponsored visa, you don't have to pay anything. If you are in New Zealand under a work visa while applying, ensure that your visa status remains valid or get an interim visa if needed. Next, for Tier 2 jobs, where you have to work for 24 months and then apply, you go first on a work visa in your Tier 2 role, for example via accredited employer work visa or any other valid work permit. You have to work in that role for 24 months, not necessarily consecutively, but accumulating 24 months. During that time, your pay must meet the green list wage criteria for that occupation, and after 24 months, you can apply for a work to residence visa, which will give you your residence status. Next, submit your documents and wait for your decision. You'll provide a passport, medical and chest x-ray, police certificates, evidence of job offer, qualifications, registrations, English language proficiency, job contract, etc. You have to pay the visa application fee, wait for your decision, and Immigration New Zealand may request additional information. Once you're approved, you'll receive your visa, which is often an e-visa, and then you can relocate. After your residence, for straight to residence after 2 years of residence, which is your continuous residence, you can apply for permanent resident visa, which allows you full travel rights. You can include your partner and children under 24 in the application as well. Now, a few tips for applicants. Always work with up-to-date green list data from Immigration NZ. Don't rely on old lists. Before accepting a job offer, confirm with the employer or via immigration agent that it's a green list plus an accredited employer, plus it meets wage or contract requirements. Keep a detailed record of your pay slips, employment contracts, and job duties. This will help in verifying your requirements. If your green list role has registration or licensing requirements, start that process early as this may take time. If you're working in New Zealand under a work visa before applying for residence, make sure that your visa allows open work rights or lets you continue working. Be mindful of your timing. Apply when your documents like your medical and police checks are fresh, and ensure that your pay meets thresholds at the time of application. So that's your comprehensive walkthrough of New Zealand's 2026 Green List Direct Residence or Work to Residence pathways. If your profession is listed, this is one of the most promising routes to permanent life in New Zealand. But don't wait, requirements, wages, and tiers can shift. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, also click on hype for this video. And for more visa and immigration pathways, stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and best of luck on your New Zealand journey.